Hi, I'm Stu, and guess where I'm standing right now? In our butcher shop with two things that I love. One of them is our tenderloin or filet mignon, and the other one is my good friend Jamie, who's been a butcher at Stu Leonard's for 18 years. He's an expert. He's gonna help you decide on how to pick the best filet mignon. He's gonna answer some questions for us. You know, first of all, we go out to Kansas. Jamie and I were just out there, and we were out riding horses, we were herding up some cattle, and we met the family farmers that we deal with. The nice thing about Stu Leonard's tenderloins, we buy these direct from the Midwest, and they come right to Stu Leonard's, and we have our trained butchers here that will cut them for you for free. So Jamie, one of the biggest questions we get asked, how do I pick a tenderloin when I come to Stu's?
We have two types of fillets that we carry. The one here is the one we call our fat-on fillet, and the one over here is what we call our peeled or already trimmed fillet. As you can see, the fat-on has all the heavy fat still on the piece of meat, and the peeled or trimmed has that heavy cap of fat removed.
This one's already trimmed out west.
Yes, it has all the heavy fat already taken off the piece of meat. The easiest way to pick out a fat-on fillet is generally what you want to do is you want to squeeze it for softness. The softness means that there's less fat on it. Mm-hmm. As far as the trimmed fillet or peeled, it already takes that step out of the process. You can see the meat itself, and you could tell how the meat looks.
You can almost just grab it and go.
And go if you would like, absolutely. Otherwise, our butchers will trim it up for free. They can cut it into steaks or leave it as a roast, however you like. And one thing you do want to look for is something that's kind of the same throughout, symmetrical through the whole piece of meat, a nice firm, fat piece of meat. Don't get nervous by the tail, that's the nature of the fillet. It does tend to tail off and get thin at the end, but you do want to look for a nice fat centerpiece.
We'll sell 2 million pounds of this filet mignon every single year at Stu's. It's one of our best sellers. When customers come in, they ask you, how do you get it cut?
Right.
What do they?
Depending on what holiday it is or what time of year it is, obviously in the summertime, it's mostly steaks. The customer comes in, they like nice, usually 1.25 inch, 1.5 inch steaks for the grill. Mm-hmm. And then as you get towards the fall and the winter and the holiday months at the end, they usually keep it as a roast. Okay. It's better off in the oven as a roast.
How many people will one of these tenderloins feed?
Well, usually what we recommend on any piece of meat that is boneless, we recommend about 1/2 pound per person. And if there's a bone, usually 3/4 to a pound per person.
So something like this right here, you'll see it feed 12, 14 people.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great. And also another big question we get asked, how do you store this once you get it home?
Once we take it out of this cryovac package, it lasts about 3 or 4 days in your refrigerator.
Okay.
And you do want to keep it in the bottom of your refrigerator where it is the coldest. That'll help preserve the freshness.
What if I want to freeze it?
If you are going to freeze it, I would, if there's steaks, I would individually wrap each steak and put it in the freezer. Or as a roast, maybe you wrap the entire roast itself.
Really airtight.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
really airtight. This beef is grass-fed for 6 months.
Yes.
And then it's grain-fed with the alfalfa they grow right on the farm, the corn they grow right on the farm.
Yep.
Some rye, wheat, and different grains.
Yep.
Are all filet mignons the same?
No. There's definitely two different types of fillets. One's a beef cattle, and one is a dairy cattle. Stu Leonard's, all we carry are beef cattle. They are specifically raised for great steaks and for consumption. And what I want to show you is I actually went out to one of the stores and I purchased this fillet, which is not.
Now, how's that
beef
compare with
cattle.
ours?
And you could see that the firmness of the dairy cattle is not as firm as the beef cattle that we carry. Yeah. And it's also not as thick. And with this here, you're definitely going to get a much better flavor, much more tender piece of meat.
So watch the filet mignon that you buy. You want to get the best one. And you know what? If you have a question about your tenderloin, just ask one of our butchers at Stu's. We'll be happy to help you out. One of the things we've done at Stu's, we've met the ranchers. We go out west. We bring the very best in direct from the ranch, right out in the Midwest, right to Stu Leonard's. We're going to make sure you get the best filet mignon, the best tenderloin on your family steak.